What's up, guys? Coach Cam here with Flex Effect Performance. Excited to talk about our transition phase that we are entering, going into our 6th week of the semester. Let's talk about it. We will be introducing the weight room lifts, resistance training, now that we have athletes assimilating back in the weight room. So we want to take our time and focus on the movement patterns that we will be utilizing and ultimately establishing a reference point for athlete ability. So with that said, we will have a ranking system that we will utilize for our athletes. As a coach and the person who will be overseeing and run the workouts, we want to make sure that prior to getting into loaded exercise, we have a good idea of where athletes are in their resistance training progression. So we will have a 1, 2, or 3 base numerical system. 1, this is our beginning athletes. This is for athletes who have not participated in a weight room or resistance training program previously, or who just don't have the basic understanding of the movement patterns. 2, this is our intermediate athletes. This is for athletes that might have had some exposure to the movement pattern, have also had some experience in a weight room environment, but do not have movement mastery and are not advanced at the movements. 3, this is for our advanced lifters. These athletes should have participated in a weight room organized experience previously and are able to knock out our movements with great quality and technique. We will also have a ranking system for the options within our workouts as well as our movement patterns. Compete is going to be the standard for athletes or students that are looking at a competitive experience. Also, this will be our most advanced movement pattern option. For example, we might have a Romanian deadlift. The exercise may call for compete, being the full exposure of the Romanian deadlift. We then go to perform. Perform is going to be our secondary standard. This is for athletes that don't have a focus on competition, which is heaviest load or fastest time. This is for our athletes that want to focus on movement quality and efficiency. So we might have that same example of the Romanian deadlift as compete, where perform may be with dumbbells, where compete may be with a barbell. Now we move on to move. Move is going to be the option for athletes that do not have a great level of experience with the movement pattern, or who just want to enjoy their workout session and are not trying to do the most advanced variations of the session. So again, for our example, compete may be a Romanian deadlift completed with a barbell. Perform may be a Romanian deadlift completed with a dumbbell, whereas move may be a single dumbbell movement with a different or a lessened range of motion. So compete, perform, and move is going to be the way that we rank not just the intensity, but also the movement pattern of the workout session. Flex Effect Performance Systems is all about quality over intensity. Intensity can come once we have a really good understanding of the movement patterns, the workout session, and the quality is fantastic. So we encourage coaches to give athletes the time exposure needed to make sure they have a firm understanding of the movement and what we're asking the athlete to do. So our recommendation is always progress slow and regress fast as needed. We want to see athletes have time to master the movement pattern, and then we can work to intensity. If we start with intensity too soon and we have to regress, now we're working backwards versus going forwards. So we want to take our time with progressions, give athletes the needed exposure, and milk every bit of experience and workout movement mastery before we take it to the next level. So also, we always have a structured workout session. starting with the understanding of the session overview, a warm-up which is guided and should always be a focus before a resistance training or a workout session. The workout session of the day, which will include whatever the stimulus is that we're attacking, or the movement patterns involved in the session, and finishing with a cool down. Each of these is vital to have a well-balanced and productive workout session. So what we can expect over the next 4 weeks of the semester will be an introductory week where we are going to introduce our must-have movement patterns. This week is going to be focused all around establishing the understanding of our compete, perform movement system, as well as getting those athlete rankings done. So the movement patterns that we're going to talk about and introduce will be things included but not limited to squatting, hinging, pushing, pressing, pulling, rowing, lunging, bracing, holding, and carrying. These are the movement patterns that research and experience show lead to healthy athletes and a well-rounded training program. So our goal is week 1, now that we have had a week back in school and we are getting the time and exposure that we need, is to introduce these movement patterns and go through this ranking system. The following 3 weeks, we will build in our mastery and our understanding of these movements, culminating for our 9th week at the end of the first part of the semester with some retests of our program outcome goal with this mesocycle, which is body weight movement mastery, movement capacity, as well as that local muscular strength and engine. Coming up post this cycle, we will then increase our intensity and begin to implement fun as we now have some movement mastery and we understand the system as well as the level of athletes that we're working with.